Ooh, when I have a little extra money, I'm going to do that. When I have some free time, I'm going to take that class. Yeah, whenever I get a minute to myself, I'm definitely going to. Does any of this sound like you? Have you said this? Did you just say this a few minutes ago? Listen, if that's the case, then this is the video that you need. My name is Sheree, and I'm your guide on your journey to strength, resilience, and purpose. Welcome to Strength in the Struggle. So friend, when's the last time that you actually invested in yourself? And I'm not just talking about money, but what about like putting energy and effort into yourself? When is the last time that you did that? Now, look, we spend a lot of time doing all of the things for everyone else, for work, for our friends, for our family. We do all of those things for everybody else. And by the time we're done, if you're anything like me, you're way too tired to spend time pouring back into yourself. Well, this is the year that we are going, and yes, I say we are going to invest in ourselves to lead to real confidence and real transformation in our lives. Okay, friend? So let's get that journey started. So friend, step number one in investing in yourself is remembering that you are your greatest asset. We've all heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, and it's so true. And I don't know about you, but I am the first person to tell other people this and the last one to remember it for myself. It wasn't until a couple years ago that I had a really big health scare that I realized that it was time for me to sit my butt down and take care of me and focus on my own physical, mental, emotional, and even my financial health. And when I tell you, this was so transformative for me. Now I'm still on the health and wellness journey, just the way that I need to be, as well as on a journey with all of those other things. But those few years really highlighted for me the neglect that I had done over myself in my 20s and 30s by not taking the time to just invest in myself in little ways. Small things such as just taking a moment for myself and setting boundaries in my time management, or even little things like planning moments of quiet into my day. And to be very honest, I started out on the journey with the best of intentions. One of the things that I did when my children was small was something that I completely forgot about this, but it's something that I used to do all the time. I used to invest in nap time. Now, not nap time for the kids, but quiet time for me. And so I would tell them that it wasn't nap time, that it was actually mommy time. But that was a very clear way of setting boundaries to take care of myself. Here's something else to remember, friend. Growth does not happen by accident. Growth only happens with consistency and time and also effort. So it's really, really important that you put all of those things into yourself, meaning that as you're setting those goals, because remember we talked about these goals that we were setting for this season that we're in, right? So as you're going through your goals, it's important that you also take the time, the effort, and the energy to make the impact on your own life that you want to see. It's one of the most important and valuable steps that you can take. And remember, growth comes with consistency. Growth comes with time. It comes with that effort. So if you're a person that's wanting to plant a garden, you're not just going to plant a seed and expect for the seed to blossom into a beautiful tree or flower tomorrow. No, you got to plant that seed. You got to water it, and then you have to give it time. And you don't just water it once. You have to consistently water it. Well, friend, you are that garden. And it's time. See, there's been some seeds that have been planted in you a long, long time ago. There are seeds that were planted in you by your mother, your father, some of your friends, co-workers, words of encouragement that people have placed into you, things that God even placed into your heart himself. And so those are the seeds, but you haven't taken the time and been consistent or placed the effort or the energy into making those things happen. So this is your reminder, this is your confirmation to stop and water yourself first. Take the time that you need to make the impact on your own life. You've made impact on a lot of other people's lives. See, I know that this is for someone very, very specific because you are that person that has watered everybody else in every other season. You have walked your friends and your family through deaths, divorces, weddings, births, failures, and triumphs. You have been the cheerleader for people. You've been that shoulder to cry on all of this time. And now you're like, I still love everybody, but what about me? And the thing is, the world has not forgotten about you. The reality is you forgot about you. And now it's time for you to put yourself back onto your own agenda. So if you needed the reminder and the boost and the kick in the pants, this is the thing. You are not going to grow in this season unless you stop and you take that time to pour back into yourself and water yourself. And it's not just by watching videos like that, like this one. There are some instructions that God has given some of you very, very specifically to do that you have been neglecting to do. And I'm speaking to myself here too. So if this is you, take a moment and write down those things that God told you to do. And then let's start making a plan to get those things done. So here are some key ways to invest in yourself this year. Number one, manage your time wisely. No matter what we do, we're always going to have the same 24 hours in a day, the same 7 days in a week. So that means that in order for you to be able to do what you need to do during that time, you have to be intentional. Let that be a key word for you in this year, that you are very intentional about your time this year, meaning that we got to sometimes push away some things to be able to do something else. Growth is going to cost you something. So it's either going to cost you in the long run of having the quick benefit now or having that long-term benefit later, whether that's successful relationships, whether that's better health, or even being wealthier in your finances and in your emotions, having a better job. Growth is going to either cost you or it's going to afford you something else later on in the future. So these are the things to remember when you're having that moment of fear of missing out. Remember that you're not missing out on anything other than a good time right now in the moment to have some better times later. These are the things that I'm telling myself when sometimes I have to sit out at home instead of being outside. And y'all know I like being outside, okay? Like I like being outside, but I also like the way that I feel when I'm intentional about my time and I'm reaching those goals that I've set for myself. So remember that in that time. Another way that you can invest in yourself, read books. Listen, reading books is so overrated in this day and age of social media and everything else. I'm an avid reader, and I will tell you that one thing that I've really come to enjoy in this season is utilizing social media for things specific to what I want to learn about. So I'm a big fan of going on YouTube and learning about different things that I need to learn about. I am a big fan of audiobooks. Audible is my friend. So generally, if you see me on my phone with an AirPod in my ear, I'm not always having a conversation with someone. I'm actually probably listening to something that is helping me grow and transform my life and my mind. Your mindset is so important in this season. And that's why it's important for you to invest in it. Like you need that. Your physical health is also something that you should invest in. So y'all, I mentioned that a few years ago, I had a really big health scare. The part that I didn't tell you was that the health scare happened because there were things that were manifesting in my body that had been happening for about 5 or 6 years prior to me actually having the actual health scare that I had. So these were things that could have been prevented, things that I should have taken care of that my doctor told me about. But because I did not stop and take the time in that moment, because, I thought I had more time, it ended up manifesting itself into a very costly scare. Invest in your mental health, friend. Listen, I will not say this enough. Get yourself a therapist. Therapy, mental health, and emotional wellness are so very, very important. They are integral to your life's blood. I don't know what I would do without my therapist. And let me just tell you, for those of you like, well, I don't really need therapy. I got friends. Baby, your friends is tired. Okay. They are tired. We tired, friend. We tired. Like we love you. Okay. We love you. We love you all day long, but we tired. We tired because you got a lot going on. You have a lot internally. You got a lot going on up here. You got a lot going on at home. You got a lot going on at work and in your finances. And as much as we love you and we want to journey with you through this thing, we got a lot too. So this is how we alleviate placing stress on those friendships and relationships, find a therapist. Sit down and talk to someone who is trained clinically to help you walk through all those aspects of your journey. And it's going to be scary and it's going to be overwhelming, just like anything that you're doing for the first time. But when I tell you, it is so worth it. And I'm not just saying this because I'm someone that's going into this field. I'm saying this because I've received this on my own end. I know my friends and my family love me. What they say, I know my parents love me. Listen, I can't sing, but anyway, I know that they all love me and they care about me and all of those things. They have walked me through some very, very dark times, but it wasn't until I started regularly, consistently being intentional about working on my mental and emotional health with a therapist that I began to see the light at the end of the tunnel and begin to have clarity on how to deal with my inner struggles, how to deal with anxiety and depression, all of the things. And I can honestly say that because of that, along with other things that I've been doing, I'm a better friend, I'm a better person overall, and I'm way more productive. And I'm gonna be honest, I like myself a lot more. Like, I liked myself before, but I really enjoy the charade that I am right now. So if you've been on the fence trying to decide whether or not you're gonna step into the mental health journey, let this be your sign today. Again, another form of confirmation that this is your time to go forward and do that thing. It'll be so much better for you. Now, as you're going through this journey, another area to be intentional about is the people that you are allowing into your life and into your space. Listen, I don't know about you, but I've only got a certain amount of energy. Like, we've been using this word capacity over this past few years, and I didn't really understand what capacity meant until recently. And what capacity is basically just how much space you have for a thing or a position for something, right? And so if that's the case, I've only got so many positions in my life that are available. I've only got so much space that I can give effort to and energy to when it comes to friendships. See, we always say, well, there's enough love to go around, there's enough energy to go around. There's not. There's not. There's just not. I don't have enough capacity in my life to be able to give thought and space to 5,000 people's feelings, emotions, and thoughts. I've only got a limited amount of space and a little bit of time and effort that I can give to certain things. So be mindful of who you are allowing to get that close to you in your space. See, it's not your responsibility to try to fix all the other people in the world or to fix all of the things. You're responsible for you. And maybe, some other people in your life you may be responsible for, but emotionally, you are responsible for you, which means that you only have enough space to be able to give to a certain amount of people. Be intentional about that space. Guard that space very, very carefully. The Bible even talks about guarding your heart with all diligence, for in it or come from it flow the issues of life, right? So if you're inviting a lot of people into your space that are chaotic and are not doing anything about it, that are angry all the time and you're a person that's trying to build up your joy, people that are pessimistic and you're trying to build up your confidence, you're actually inviting people into your life and into your spaces that are actually bringing spirit that is completely opposite of what it is that you're trying to do. In a lot of ways, we're sabotaging ourselves by not being intentional about our relationships. So be very intentional about how much time you're giving to people that bring negativity into your space. And when I say your space, that's not even just your physical space, but also think about in your home. Who are you inviting over? When you're at work, who are you going out to lunch with? How are you spending that time when you're doing your regular everyday things? Think about it. Now, in the midst of all this, I want you to give yourself permission to grow, to develop, to change, and to be a little bit different. It's actually okay. So don't let the fear of the unknown or procrastination or self-doubt keep you stuck. it's really, really important in this season that you build your confidence about who you are, who you were made to be, and who you desire to be in this next season of your journey. It is okay for you to evolve, and it's okay for you to invest in yourself. Remember, you can either choose to invest in yourself now, or you can pay the price of regret later. And I will tell you that price of regret is always going to be higher than the cost of the admission to change. It's always, always, always going to be higher. So I'm going to be honest. As I mentioned to you guys before, in my health journey, I had a few moments of a few years of not doing the things that my doctor said to do. My doctor recognized that I have a history of diabetes in my family, and that my numbers and my weight were starting to get a little bit off the charts. And I thought, well, I was kind of in my early to mid 30s, and I thought I was, I had time. I had time to do a few things because, I'm still going to be out here. I'm going to live my life. So I would work out here and there, watch my diet here and there, and then boom, 39 and 40 hits. And for those of you that have not hit that age range, let me tell you, when it hits different. It hits real different, especially if you have not done the work to take care of yourself. And so the struggle I've had over these past few years have dealt with bringing my A1C down, dealing with fibroids and having to have a hysterectomy, having a blood clot. Like when I tell y'all, my body has gone through the things, and it's gone through some things unnecessarily because I did not take the time when I needed to invest in myself then. And so I am paying not only the price of regret, but I'm also now paying the price of procrastination and self-doubt now in other areas where I could have just taken a few more moments to invest in a workout routine, invest in a better diet, implementing better procedures in place to set boundaries for certain things for myself to eliminate and alleviate stress. And so now here I am at almost 45 trying to figure it out, y'all, because again, those 40s hit a lot different when it comes to your health. So if you're somebody that's watching me that's in your 20s and 30s and you're like, oh, I got time, baby, that time is going to go like that. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself now so that you don't regret what you didn't take care of later. Just trust me on that one. I want you to remember that you are worth investing in. You are worth the time. You are worth the effort. You are worth the energy. It's no longer your season to be unfulfilled and lacking purpose and direction. This is your year to fill your own cup, to get surrounded by like-minded people who care about you, who want to invest in you, who desire good for you, who are not just going to take from you, but that are going to pour back into you. So my prayer for you in this day and in this season is that you will also recognize your worth, that you will spend some time investing in your own confidence, whatever that looks like, that you will follow the leading in the direction of God and the Holy Spirit to do the things that you need to do in this season. And I want you to remember that, yes, I am your guide on this journey to strength, resilience, and purpose, but I'm not your guide standing from the outside because I've got it all together. I'm your guide because I'm walking right along that path with you, and I can only guide you through the things that I've actually been through and that I've experienced. So I am here for you. I love you, and I hope that you have an amazing day on purpose, filled with the purposes of God. Love you. Bye. All right, friends. So if you've been enjoying our conversations, if you like seeing my face pop up on your timeline on whatever social media platform, and you still haven't followed or subscribed, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that button. And you know what else? If you could do me just one little favor, if anything that I've said ever has blessed you, has made you feel good, has empowered you, has brought confirmation to you, hit that share button and share with somebody else that you know would bless you. And also leave me a comment, because I definitely want to hear from you. And I want to know, what else do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? What can we share with one another to empower and encourage and build one another? All right. Until next time, have an amazing day on purpose, filled with the purposes of God. Love you. Bye.